This podcast is coming to you live October 24th. It's a beautiful windy Sunday from coast to coast, starring Josh and me.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Did you just say it was beautiful? It's beautifully storming.
I said beautiful windy. It's very windy
Beautiful
and
windy.
stormy. We're windy and stormy here too, so it's
Yeah,
it's stretching all the way from coast to coast. I'm pretty sure it's the same wind. Go outside and fart. I'll let you know if I smell it. So you will notice there might be a little bit of a lag on video on my part and or Josh's part, but Josh is out on the west coast and they're hit by the storm right now. So we have noticed during our preamble of getting all set up to go and everything that it's a little sketchy right now with the video quality. The audio is all there. Is the audio all there?
The audio's all here on my end.
And I saw your lips move there. Very briefly.
And now they're frozen.
Yeah, that's okay. So the video seems to be coming and going, probably as brought on by the weather. But we're both still happy to be here, and we still get to see Josh's face, even though he may not be in action. And I should hide my cord. I don't want to cover up the ghost face killer. Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Billy Bees.
I don't even know which way is.
I don't know which way you got my screen going, but you can't see me doing anything anyways, so...
Yeah, that's true. You're not doing anything. You're just sitting there. It's actually, there's no bad weather. The video is just fine.
Yes.
Josh is practicing his ventriloquism. How you laugh like that without even moving your lips? It's amazing.
It takes years of practice.
Years of practice.
Years.
I could do the same thing with the audio albums.
So what about all the podcast listeners? They won't understand what the fuck we're talking about.
This is true. Oh, well, we don't need them. We don't need them.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's all good.
Anyways,
so
man,
Josh?
How you doing? Yeah,
I'm doing good, man. I'm
Good,
doing good. It was a nice, good week. Worked hard and all that stuff. And now we're off to another week. I'm like, long weekends are great, but when you're in sales, they kind of suck a little bit because, well, you're gonna miss that customer, or you're gonna skip a week on a customer because then the next week they'll just order more stuff, but then they don't, and there's always worries and stuff. It's like if the whole world would just shift to a 4-day work week. I don't know why we don't. It drives me insane. It just 4-day work weeks absolutely make sense.
There's a lot of places that do the 4-day work week, and it works quite well.
Yep.
You get a day to recharge and 2 days to enjoy instead of a day to recharge and then your next day is filled with doing a bunch of stuff and you don't feel recharged by the time you get back to work. Productivity suffers and yeah,
no doubt.
I think we'd be just as productive economically on a 4-day week as we would on the 5 to 7 day week that we're currently working now.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'm a big fan of it. I'm all for it. So what else is news? Nothing? Nothing to report?
Not much.
Nothing?
No, nothing to report. I got nothing to report.
Cool.
Never anything to report.
So we thought we'd touch quickly and easily on today's show regarding a few things. One being some of the words that are getting thrown around that are driving me bananas. I mean, I get it, and I get people's point of view and stuff, but, I mean, sometimes I don't. When they start talking about, the words Nazi and Hitler and all, okay. Some people try and knock that off if you confront them about it. Well, this is the way it started. No, there's no comparison. I'm sorry. If you don't get your COVID vaccine, then we're going to march you off to a gas chamber. That's not... No, we're not going to let you go into a restaurant. That's all they're saying. It's a little bit different of gas chamber to I really like the pasta at this restaurant. There's a gap there.
No, there's definitely no comparison.
I can't tolerate.
No, and it's maybe the wrong word. The wrong words are getting thrown around, and that's the problem.
We're approaching or encroaching on some of these things that people are talking about.
For sure, but I mean,
Tyranny.
Tyranny.
Totalitarianism
but those are loose terms that can be applied to almost anything, right?
Well, they can be, but I mean, when the government's being a tyrant. Well, okay, Joseph Stalin was a tyrant. I think we're a
Napoleon
far
Bonaparte was a tyrant.
I think we're a far cry from these things. Now, going by the definition, cruel and oppressive government or rule. A nation under cruel and oppressive government. A cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power and control.
Yeah, I mean, you can apply that to any government of any modern democracy nowadays as well. Either it's all open to interpretation by those words.
Well, except modern democracy, because I don't think any other modern democracy.
Well, you know what I mean by modern.
Yeah, I mean, some of these words are, dictatorship and socialism and all the stuff that people are talking about. It's like using swear words. You know what I mean? Like, there's some swear words, shit, you can use that all the time and nobody thinks nothing of it. Fuck that. It serves a purpose. It has a place, right? When you're putting that emphasis onto something. So using a word like Nazi or tyrant, you're putting that emphasis. You're trying to add that more than what it really is to make it bigger and badder. And that's fine. But understand that you're doing that. Don't say we're in a tyranny and then start giving me lousy examples of why this is a tyranny. That doesn't work. It doesn't make sense, but explain that you're being oppressed because you choose not to get a vaccine, so you can't go to a restaurant. But that's your choice.
Exactly, and it's all about choice. It won't become tyranny or oppression until you're rounded up and given those vaccines by force.
Well, then, sure.
I mean, force is the wrong word. We were just talking about this at the beginning of the show when I used the word, and I had to reiterate that maybe we're being a little bit more coerced than we are forced at this point.
We're being coerced, but
and segregated. We're being people. I'm not saying we're as in I'm not vaccinated, but generally we as a population are getting.
Well, see, and I agree.
Segregated into two separate classes right now, but I mean it's also by choice as well.
True. Yeah.
So
I think that what I do like about this movement, if you will, or whatever you want to call it, is that you're really starting to see vaccinated people taking on the same stance as the unvaccinated people, and that speaks volumes in itself, right there.
Agreed.
Right?
Like take it for example. I'm vaccinated, but I stand with everybody that's unvaccinated just as much as I stand with the people that are vaccinated. It's your choice, and I have no problems conversing with people that make their own decisions.
No, my only argument against, first of all, it's don't if you don't want to get vaccinated, then don't get vaccinated. But don't preach to me that I'm making a bad choice because I'm getting vaccinated, especially being when you're in the 20%. You're in the minority, right? So you're saying that you're that much smarter than the rest of the world or whatever you want it to be. That's fine. It's your choice. That's fine. I would only like to see everybody get their vaccine. That can get the vaccine, of course. We know there are people that just can't do it.
For sure.
I would like to see everybody get it done because the government can only use the unvaccinated as an excuse for lockdowns and everything for so long.
Right.
So if the vaccine truly doesn't do anything, as these unvaccinated claim and stuff like that, and it causes more harm than good and all of that jazz, the government's been saying all along, well, once we're all vaccinated, we can loosen up and blah, blah, blah. We're never going to get to a point until everybody basically is vaccinated.
And I don't see that ever happening.
Well, but here's the question: if it did,
but it's going to get to the point. But it's going to get to the point where you're going to see all the true numbers from the breakthrough cases and whatnot that they're not accurately telling us.
Well, they're definitely not accurately telling them. I mean, they're reporting positive cases as positive cases, and you have to dig very, very, very deeply to try and find numbers of asymptomatic vaccinated positive cases.
Yeah, and I know of a few people that have been double vaxxed and ended up getting the COVID. Never hospitalized or anything, obviously.
Right. I know somebody that was double vaccinated that was hospitalized.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to die. I mean, so it goes back both ways. Nothing's 100%.
No, exactly. So that's why I just wish there would be a little bit more truthfulness and openness from our government. But we all know that that's never.
Well, but it's not only the government that's reporting things, and and here's the problem.
But it's their numbers. The government has to report these things because they run the hospitals.
Yeah, but they're not. There's not like one person I'm saying that's doing every test everywhere, right? That numbers are getting thrown around left, right, and center, and I don't believe that they're getting an accurate number. I don't think that they're getting an accurate number for many reasons. You know what I mean? Whether it's the asymptomatic tests or whatever, right? That's just what I feel.
Well, and there was, I can't remember which province's health minister was saying as well, if you're known to be sick but you refuse to get a COVID test, you're going to be chalked up as a COVID number at that point.
I'm showing odd photos for no reason, apparently.
Hey, Davey.
That's our friend Dave, who's, and I think for some reason I have the opacity turned off. There we go. I will save that. Everyone when eventually get COVID.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm assuming that you mean will. Will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But
if we haven't already, right?
Yeah. Who knows? And Davey says hi to Joshy as well. Great pick, too, by the way, Davey. I just wish the numbers were truly represented. And like I said, unless if we get to that point of almost or damn near 100% vaccination, we won't see the release of the rules and all of this stuff. Maybe at that point, they'll have to start reporting the numbers of the breakthrough cases that are asymptomatic, that the people only went and got tested because they were told, you have to go get tested. I know for a fact, Dave was told, 4 times, Dave, that he had to go get tested. And he had to take a couple of days off work until he went and he got the test done.
Yeah.
But and he tested negative, thankfully, knock on beautiful, shiny stainless steel. But some of those people are testing positive, and they're like, oh, shit, I'm sick? I didn't even know I was sick. This is crazy. So those numbers are getting reported as a breakthrough case. So now all of a sudden an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, whatever is going to be like, he got COVID and he's got all the vaccinations.
I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, speaking of terms and whatnot, I'm not really a big fan of that anti-vax term either. Yeah. Because most of these people that you're throwing into the anti-vax thing.
Wait, 3, 2, 1.
1. Here it comes. Most of those people that are being thrown into the anti-vax thing are mostly vaccinated for most things. So
thank you.
So how are you going to call them an anti-vaxxer?
They're calling themselves anti-vaxxers, which is
no, that's what the media is calling them.
Oh, some of them are calling them themselves, but
the majority of them are just it's the freedom movement, and everybody thinks that the freedom movement is all about no masks and no vaccines, which is it's a portion of what they're about. But for the most part, they're about pretty much what we are is getting rid of big government.
Well, so again, but then my thing, and I told you before that the one thing that I firmly, it took me a lot of years to come up with my methodology. Don't bitch about something unless if you have a solution for it. So if you are anti-vax or against the vaccine of this particular formulation because you've already had 20 other vaccines in your life that you won't admit, give me the solution then. If the solution, I've heard some people have given me the solution. They come up with many different solutions. I mean, the whole ivermectin thing and all of that. It could could very well be. It's proven to be working in some places right now. But
get the damn strain separated and isolated so we can create a proper vaccine.
Well, and we don't have a vaccine, and I think they shouldn't have termed it vaccine.
No, it's an
MRNA is a preventative measure.
That's
is
right.
all that it is, right? You're creating the proteins that are needed to fight COVID.
Not all 17 of the proteins either. There's 17 protein strands.
Yeah, but we know what it's for, right?
Right.
We know what it's for.
Yeah.
Does it work? I think it's proven. Medically, I think it's proven. I'm not going to go through all the research on the show.
No.
Because, you're better off if you had the vaccine. And we've seen countless videos of patients on their deathbed hooked up to ventilators with their loved ones or themselves saying, "Can't you just give me the vaccine now?" You know what I mean?
Don't buy it. Don't buy into the propaganda pieces.
I've seen the videos of it.
I know. We've all seen the videos, and it's a lot of,
then there's something to it. I believe there's something to that. If you don't that's fine.
Have you also seen the videos of the reporters that are on their deathbeds and, pleading with people about shit? It's, it's proven to be false. That they never ended up with the COVID. They were just doing it for a piece. It's all propaganda, too.
I haven't seen any of those, so...
You haven't seen any of those? Yeah, look a little bit further into it. There's been a few of those.
Yeah, but I'm not going to dig into find bullshit. I'm going to listen. Somebody told me a story of something personal, so then I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough. I just wouldn't believe any one of those videos that you're getting put out there. And a lot of them are all fear based too. I could show you a video of somebody dying in their hospital bed from like heart disease or some shit like that too. You know.
Okay, show me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to do things on computers.
Okay, so you can't.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm.
But they're propaganda pieces to.
But what's your point? What's your point here? My point
I don't have
works,
a point.
But you're saying the vaccine doesn't work.
I didn't say that it did or didn't work. I don't think we know yet.
You don't think we know yet? You don't think?
Well, it doesn't work in the sense that it's going to eradicate the virus. It's going to work in the sense that you might be able. Well, then stop advertising it as such.
Who's advertising it as such? The media.
Oh, the media. The media is advertising it as such.
Yeah, but if you look at the media story and then you follow the story to its legs,
who is Canadian media run by though?
Oh, I don't care.
Exactly. It's all government funded anyway, so. At the end of the day, what gets put out is
but I'm saying if you follow that story of what they're saying that it does, and follow it back to the company that manufactures it,
right? But nobody's going to do that shit. Yeah, none of the companies say that it's an end all be all.
Okay, so.
But who personally is going to go back and look at that stuff? Most people take what they see face value from the media.
And goddamn, look at the situation we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And that's the problem. So seeing one of these puff pieces on the news about somebody on their deathbed at the hospital or whatever, yeah, it's sad as shit, but it doesn't need to be put out there. It's not put out there to promote more people getting the vaccine.
Well, the media is trying to do that, right?
Yeah, the media is doing it for the fear.
Yeah, some media is definitely doing it for the fear.
All media is doing it for the fear.
Yeah,
well. It's all for the ratings.
Well, but some media is pro, some media is not, right? So that the media that's putting out those stories are pro-vaccine, and the other media that's anti-vaccine is putting out the other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and I mean...
You can't lump them all into one big giant...
Well, they're all lumped into one big giant lying sack of shit bag is what it is.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, neither one of them's right. And that's the problem, you know?
Well, I think that what it comes down to is trust, education, research. Even me to say that, I dig into it and look for the horse's mouth is one thing, but there's only so much information that's true. I think 90% of what's on the interwebs is all bullshit. You know what I mean?
Oh, 99% for sure.
And you're going to develop just your feelings, your thoughts. This is what I think it is. This is, whatever.
But feelings are facts nowadays.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So.
But that boils down to trust. Trust in our governments, and
which we don't have right now.
Well, it's really interesting. So again, I did a little bit of digging, did a little bit of research and homework, and I found some stats on trust. We'll start off back in the 60s, and we're going to talk here about the Excited States of America. So in Eisenhower's time, Eisenhower managed to gain trust and went up in his trust factor, starting off at about 73% of the people trusted him, and he climbed up to about 74%, 75%. He gained a little bit. Kennedy gained a little bit. Johnson started gaining, went up to about 77%, and he lost a bunch, go figure, down to about 62%. Nixon went down to about 36%. And ever since then, through Ford, Carter went down a little bit, gained a little bit at the end. But one of the only ones that actually went up over time, Reagan. Reagan started his term at about 32%, and he ended up at 43% of the people trusting him. The first Bush started losing, went down to about 33, had a jump up to about 47, but ended down at around 29.
Yeah.
Clinton, believe it or not, a slow upturn. Started up down at around 25. At one point went down to actually about 19% early in his career.
Well, we all know Slick Willie can get it up, right?
And he finished up at 44. Wow, geez, want to try that one more time? Huh? I didn't hear it.
No, everybody should have heard that.
G-Dub went up. He climbed up actually to the highest in since the 60s probably, but then had a lousy downturn and ended up back down around 24%. Obama started at 24, dropped at one point down to 17. He gained a little bit, but he climbed out at about 19%.
Well, everybody's savior, Obama, eh?
And then
nobody trusted him.
And then Trump, who started out at 19%, ended up at 24%.
Atta boy.
Yeah, that's surprising. You know. Yeah, and obviously we don't have any data on Biden right now.
I think he's in slow decline, both mentally and
I don't
trustworthiness.
Yeah, well, and not necessarily through any fault of his own, but I mean, in these, of course, the presidents don't represent the people.
Tax everybody, right?
Yeah, it represents the entire government, you know. But it's just funny watching those numbers and seeing the absolute decline, and that only a couple of presidents actually managed to gain traction, and that was Reagan. I get that.
Well, for
Clinton,
sure.
Slick Willie, and Trump. Yes, I said it here, folks.
Yeah.
You know, it's just numbers that I'm looking at on the web. You know, it's something else though.
Yeah.
I think that COVID. You know, again, I would not want to be president, prime minister, emperor, unless if it was of the universe, and that may happen one day. But
supreme leader.
I don't have the answer. I mean, I don't know what any of these people could do any better. You know, I watch a little bit of what's going on, and maybe a few things I could have done a little bit differently, but what if I wanted to be the guy that was in charge to tell everybody what the hell to do? No. Not a chance. Not a chance. Because no matter what, you're going to be wrong. Especially when you're going into it with 20% of the people actually having faith in you. Well, 80% know you're wrong. Never mind think you're wrong.
Well, this is where I don't get the whole voting system. If you have that low of numbers on people trusting you, how the hell did you get elected in the first place? They elected for you anyways, but I don't trust you, but I'm going to see what you can do.
We talked about Trudeau and what his real number of winning was. He had less than 12% of the population of the country actually want him as prime minister. Yeah. I mean, that's an epic failure.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the same as the United States as well, right? What was their voter turnout? 48% of the eligible voters turned out.
Yeah, it was about there.
You know, so Biden's sitting at about 20-something% of the population wants him in there, and then, you know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why the true modern democracy method works. You know? I found a list of things of building trust. The 4 signals government can instill confidence and improve public trust is through humanity, transparency, capability, and reliability. That's hell. What the hell? I mean, like that's almost got nothing to do with politicking.
No,
so that's got to be their main focus right now, right?
And that's something fairly easy to do. It's not hard to say, hey, this is what we're doing. And this is all the information we have on it.
Yeah.
But they're just not doing anything, so they don't want to. So there's no transparency when
nothing.
When you have nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Mind you, yeah. I don't know. It's just
Well, I think the True Modern Democracy program solves that, or just like they're doing in Australia with Flux.
Yeah.
I've been working on that one and adapting it to fit. So here's a question for everybody, including yourself. So if we had an app, and if you voted for Josh, and Josh became the representative of, Lower Ballsville, then I don't know where I came up with that, but okay. So there's an app. Every bill is going to go into the app. People read what's on there and vote on the app, right? So that's going to decide whether you are going to support this app or oppose, or support this bill or oppose this bill. So the question is, the problem is, some people will cast their decisions, and you can see this even on Facebook, even with this COVID stuff. You look at people's objections and people's thought patterns and whatnot, that, this is bullshit. This is the way it should be, blah, 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 blah. Even though we know they don't fully understand who, what, when, why, and how. So, if there was a system on this app, you could look at, here, this is Bill 101, Josh gets a raise. You can, yay or nay, right?
Yay.
Okay. Well, there's also going to be on there the actual bill, what it actually says, what he's actually getting raised. And there's also going to be a synopsis on there that's going to give you the brief details without being 28 pages long. It's going to say, Josh has been working hard. We think he needs a couple more bucks.
And no sliding any other bills onto single.
No, it's only ever going to be one.
Likes to hide things in the back.
Yes,
no,
that's
they pass 2 bills at once, right?
Just shouldn't happen.
No.
So. And then also a reason why the bill was put forward in the first place. Josh is having a hard time making it to work because his truck wouldn't start every day. Josh needs a new truck. He can't afford a new truck. So if we give him a raise, he can get a new truck, right? So, okay, so that's why it's there. So now you can look at that. You can say, hell yeah, give Josh a new truck.
Yeah, I need a new truck.
Who's Josh? I don't like Josh. It's done. What if there's also a third option? The third option would be, I read the entire bill. I read everything in here. I just took the little 4-minute test. I passed the test. I got 80% on the test, proving that I read the entire bill and I understand everything of what this is about. Yes, Josh needs a truck. Yes, Josh needs the raise.
Thank you.
What should that now count for? Should that count for 3 votes?
No.
Why not?
Well, why should it?
Because too many people.
Well, because somebody got informed about what the bill is, as opposed to just blindly voting for it.
Yeah.
I think everybody should be voting with the.
How do you control that?
An informed decision. Well, you don't.
Well, now you do.
There should. I don't think there should be a control on that sort of thing.
Well, it's not a control. You can still vote.
Well, you can still vote, but I don't think it should count for any more or any less. It's
you feel that strongly about it. You understand every angle of it.
Right.
But you agree that everybody should be fully informed on everything they vote on, right?
Everybody should be fully informed.
How are you going to make that happen? Again, I'm not going to bitch about it unless if I have a solution. The only solution I've been able to come up with, and this is not through myself, this was talking to somebody else that said, hey, you should make a little test at the end. And I started thinking about that, right? Well, okay, yeah, there should be a little test at the end. You could make it, there's a little test at the end, and everybody has to do the test and read the whole thing on everything, but then nobody's going to bother with it, nobody's going to do it, the system will fail. Right? Yeah. But if you can get like double points because you've proved that you completely understand this system, you completely understand why this is being introduced, that to me is an absolute win. That's an absolute win. There's no negative side to that. If you don't want to take the time to do it, don't take the time to do it. But think about think about the numbers that are going to come out of this. The numbers that are going to come out of this, first of all, the actual vote is going to show how many people took the test. Number one. How many people failed the test? Number two. So, how many people passed the test and how many people failed the test are going to show what's the problem with how these bills are being written. Why is so many people failing this test? We just told them to read this, and they read it and they failed it. Like, so this is not. So let's simplify this language a little bit. Let's make this a little easier to understand. Joss needs a truck. It's not that difficult, and it doesn't need to be 748 pages long.
No.
Right? Okay. So that's going to tell us that. Like, we're going to get so much information out of this system.
Right.
And
I don't know.
Qualified votes.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, you could say that, okay, so say it doesn't work and 20% of the people actually read it and do the test to get extra points. Where's the harm?
I don't know. The only harm would be that, you wouldn't have the equal representation.
What do you mean?
Of people's voting opinions. Well, now you got like one guy that gets counted 3 times as opposed to the other guy that gets counted once.
Yeah, but we have those numbers, but we understand the numbers.
Yeah. What if nobody wants to take the test? What if somebody reads the bill and said, no, fuck that, I'm not taking the test?
Well, then why would they even read the bill?
Well, because they wanted to be informed, but they don't want to take another 5 minutes to go do a silly test.
Then they get one vote.
Well, that's what I mean. You're not.
How about okay? Hold on. Okay,
you're not going to get that equal, and it just doesn't seem democratic that one person would get more credit over the other person.
No, nobody gets more credit over the other person.
It's more say. Gets more say over the other person just because you went and did a test. You have more say now.
If there's a bill, and you gotta take your chance, you can vote on the bill or not vote on the bill. Right now, you don't even get a chance right there. How many bills have you gone to your MLA to talk about?
What was that?
How many bills have been in there that you've gone to?
None.
So isn't this improving the system no matter what? All of a sudden, people are taking a little bit of interest. Now people have access to the bill and they're actually reading the bill.
I don't think you're going to get as much interest as you think you're going to get out of it.
Good. So where's the harm?
Because now those people still might be voting, but they don't want to take the time to go out and do your test.
Good.
Well, good. But they shouldn't have any less of a vote count than the next person.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, people who make who make political decisions shouldn't be educated on what they're doing.
Well,
aren't we trying to change all of that? Isn't that what this is all about?
Yeah, but that's up to the individual, not up to me to say, "Oh, hey, you read this shit, you get extra votes now." There's got to be incentivize it some other way, but it's not equal.
But it's your option. If you want the extra vote, vote,
but there shouldn't be the extra vote, is what I'm saying.
Well, but we're trying to make it a way to get the fair, educated decision. So
and I'm not saying that incentivize
fair education, a fair
and I'm not saying
decision.
Yeah, and I'm not saying incentivizing voting isn't a bad thing, but I don't think you should get more say over the next person for being educated on the matter. Maybe a credit. Maybe
you shouldn't.
Better write off on your income tax if you actually do the shit, or incentivize it some other way, man.
No, it cannot be a financial. No, now you're buying votes.
Well, that's true. That's true. Can't be financial.
But hold on, I'm going back because you're saying that if you're educated on the decision that you're going to try and make, that's not worth anything.
It's worth something to me personally. I don't think I should have 3 votes to the next guy's 1 vote that didn't read the bill. What if he already understands what's being proposed?
See, but the whole system works this way. So you're voting on something to I don't understand. I get what you're saying. It's unfair. If you want to be lazy and not read the thing or not do a test, it's totally unfair. No, it's not. If you want to go to lunch at that restaurant, you got to be double vaccinated.
We're not talking about that right now.
Well, I am. It's the same thing to me. It's the same thing to me. It's not. You're not being penalized. Nobody's being penalized.
It's not being penalized.
Yourself.
You're basically
okay. So everybody gets 1 vote, but if you don't read the bill, you get a half a vote.
No, that's not democratic.
How about if? Well, I think it is. I mean,
it's not.
Where's the argument?
Democracy is supposed to be equal.
So if I go to a politician that just would put his name behind a bill and I question him on the bill and he can't answer my questions on the bill, what does that mean? Should he be fired?
That means you're not going to. Well, yeah, you're not going to vote. On the spot. Yeah, you're not going to vote for him, but the next guy that you vote for,
I'm not voting for him. Votes. I'm questioning that he passed the bill. This is a done situation. It's completely ended. The bill is passed.
Oh, well,
I'm now going to question him on the bill.
Yeah. Well, he should be fired 100% then.
Okay. So
he shouldn't have been voting on the bill to begin with. And that's in.
Well, but that's the way the system works. But that's
then maybe the way the system works is before you vote, you have to read and you have to prove that you voted. So you go in there.
But now you're going.
Read the bill. Now you do your test, but you still get 1 damn vote, or you get no vote for not reading the bill. You shouldn't, if that's what you want to do. If you want to make sure people are informed on what they're voting, read the bill, write the test. Now you get your vote.
Oh man, I wish other people would chime in on this because I want to figure out. Again, it's figuring out the solution. You can't go and tell politicians to do this. We can't change the system. We're changing the system from the ground up. So there's an app. You can vote on things. I want to be able to tell the difference between somebody that is educated on a subject and somebody that isn't educated on a subject. I don't want to get a blue or red vote. Okay? So a blue or red vote, that means absolutely nothing to me, and that shouldn't figure into the tally. If the blue and red vote, and I'm relying on people and common decency and morals and ethics, which is just mind-blowingly crazy, but that's what I'm relying on people saying, okay, I believe in this issue. I believe in this. I want to vote on this. I want my vote to count on this. I want my 2 votes on this, or 3 votes, or whatever it is. Okay? And now I'm going to do the homework to be able to get that extra step. I'm proving myself. This is what I get for proving myself. Yes, I tried to think of another incentive, come up with another incentive. No, you can't give them tax breaks. No, you can't do any of that stuff. It simply has to revolve around the vote itself. Maybe you could do 2 separate votes.
Or you just make people prove themselves before they vote, and everybody gets 1.
No, then nobody will use it.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
Well, then they don't have a damn say. They can't bitch about it. They can't bitch about anything.
Why would you vote for
the
They can't
bitch about anything. No, they'll do it. The people will. I think people would still get excited for the fact that they can vote on every single bill now. But the only way that they can vote is you got to read a couple pages on what the bill's about. Big deal. And that's the only way you can vote.
Yeah, I don't see that.
And everybody gets their ones.
There's no reason to. No,
yeah, there is.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, there's 100% reason because now you have a say. You don't think people are going to get excited about having an actual say then.
But you're going to tell people vote
You don't need to give them more shit to make them excited. Just giving them the whole ability to read and pass a bill.
Yeah, but people aren't going to do that. People don't
do
it
will.
now.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because people don't do it now. Nobody goes and reads the bill.
Because we're not allowed to vote on bills right now.
Well, you can sure read a bill, though, and make a decision and talk to your MLA. That's what politics, that's what democracy's for.
No, the problem with that is nobody trusts their damn MLAs anymore, and the MLAs don't do shit for their constituents anymore.
Okay, well, that's a whole
and everybody knows that. So what's the point of going to your MLA to bitch about it?
That's way far away from where we're talking about.
No, but that's exactly
I'm talking about the simple fact people don't do the homework now. So just because it's on an app, now you expect them to sit down and read shit?
Yeah, 100%.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Then they don't get to vote then.
Well, then
that's the way it should be.
Why vote for a party that will do that?
We're not having a party. This isn't a party system.
Well, yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's just like Flux. I'm talking about Flux.
Yeah, but Flux is a party, though. You're talking about not having a party.
I'm talking about how you going to get the party, how you going to get the system to work. The
Revolution.
only way to get, unless if we have lots of guns.
Yes.
Right? We've talked about that before. There's no other way for this to happen except to start a party, build the party, then take over the system.
No, I get it. I just don't agree with your one guy has more votes over the other.
No, nobody has more votes over the other.
Well, they do. It was for what you're proposing. So you read the bill. You get.
But your argument is saying.
Everybody should be reading the damn bill. You shouldn't get a vote if you don't read the damn bill.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the bill is, why are you voting?
People don't do that now, so it's a moot point.
Well, half the people don't vote now, anyways.
Well, exactly. So it's a moot point. So hear me out. Hear me out.
I don't agree.
So you think that what it should? So then you don't think we should do the system?
Well, I think we should do the system, but it's
so now you're telling you can vote for us, and we'll give you this stuff, but you have to read each and every single one. And then do they have to still do the test according to your little model?
Well, yeah, they should have to.
Okay, so you're gonna vote for us, and you'll read the bill, and then you'll have to do a test in order to cast a vote.
And it shouldn't be a long test.
No, it's a couple-minute test.
No,
a couple key points.
Yep, that's it. And there should only be a few key points either. You don't want to muddy the bills up with like a whole bunch of jargon, right?
But we can't do anything about that. We're not writing the bills, buddy. We're not writing the bills.
Well, you're gonna have obviously, but you're gonna.
We're just listing it. We're just taking the bill and we're making it available to you.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a 700-page bill. Because we have no control over that. We can't do anything about that.
Fair enough.
Okay, we can write a synopsis on it.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
And that's probably what you should be giving to the people is a synopsis. And if they want to, give them a link to delve into the 700 other pages if they want.
Oh, by all means have that.
And that should be anybody's prerogative. But
yeah, so you want them
the synopsis should be fine and test it on the synopsis, prove that you've read it, and then vote.
Perfect. So your system, you think that you should vote for us because we're going to give the bill to you on an app. And then you're going to do a test on the app. It should only take you a few minutes, and you only got to read a synopsis. You don't have to read the whole bill. And then you're going to grade your test, and then we'll give you the ability to place a vote after you pass our test. Vote for us.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so you start that one.
Well, okay. It doesn't matter, man. You're not going to attract any more or any less people by saying, "Oh, now you all of a sudden get 2 extra votes."
Or 1, or double, or
no,
1.5.
I don't agree with
care
it.
What it is.
Where I agree with your extra voting thing is we talked about this on the last show with the Flux Party and how you get your, X amount of votes, and if you don't vote on one bill, you can roll that vote into another bill.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. I'm not against that, but I don't think just because.
Well, I don't really like the idea of rolling. I don't like.
I just don't think anybody should be voting without being informed. And that should be proved. But there should be no blind voting.
Okay,
and I don't think you should be incentivized either for being smart.
It's got nothing to do with being smart.
Well, being educated on the matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be incentivized. It should already be up to every human being to be informed before you make a decision.
But they aren't. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. You're 100% right.
And that's their problem, not my problem. That's their problem.
No, it's not. It's your problem. It's our problem. It's everybody's problem because that's the way the world works right now.
Yeah.
So my whole point is trying to get people involved enough to want to be informed to make a proper decision, not go black or white or blue or red, right? Because that's what's going to happen, even with this app system, and that's fine and dandy. So now all of a sudden, here's my point. You get somebody that's blue, and they're going to vote blue. No matter what, they're voting blue because they're blue. That's what right. They are. They're blue. What color are they?
Blue.
Thank you. So they're going to get this thing. Now, okay, they're going to get 1 point. They're going to get 1 vote or a point or however you want to call this thing. I like the idea of calling it points now that I say points, right?
Points.
Okay, so they're going to get 1 point. Now, it could go both ways here. It could go a point total and a vote total. So everybody gets 1 vote, but everybody can get multiple points. If it's a 10-point question, you know, you get 8 out of 10, you get 8 points. And that goes into the tally. So now you can see the results of both. Now you're going to see the results of the educated. But anyways, my point being is, because I get sidetracked very easily, at least it's not about food this time because God bless mini donuts.
Oh, I'm pretty hungry. I wasn't going to say anything.
But if you... I lost my train of thought. Now I'm thinking about
look, there's donuts. A lighthouse behind you.
Yeah. They don't serve French fries at that lighthouse.
Oh, damn.
My point being is now you get this person that's going to vote blue because they're blue, and they're going to go now, and they're going to go onto the app, and they're going to be, okay, how do I go? I got to go vote blue. Vote blue. Where is this? Okay, so here, read the bill and get an extra point. I can get 2 points for blue? Oh,
yeah,
man,
but there is no blue or red.
Wait. Yes, there is. There's black and white. No. There's blue and red. There's left and right. However you want to call it. You know that. Don't give me that. That's
I'm pretty sure when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, most people care about the same shit. Otherwise, you're just a dick. You're not red, white, or blue. You're just a dick.
No, the whole political world right now. You're liberal or conservative. You're going to vote liberal or you're going to vote conservative.
But how would
multi-party? I don't even care.
Yeah, but how are you going to define yourself? How are you going to define me? There is no There shouldn't be multi-party. You're just a decent human being who believes in decent human being things.
Yeah, but that's not the way the world works politically right now.
It's the way most people are politically, though. Even though like liberal, conservative, like
what world do you live in?
I know some liberals that are the most conservative damn people in the world.
Okay, and where do they vote?
Liberal.
Thank you. Well, now they want to cast their vote liberal.
But they're the most damn conservative people in the world.
Perfect. So hear me out. Stop interrupting and hear me out.
No, never.
If they're absolutely liberal, okay. You know, you don't have to hear me out. So let me ask you a question. What? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, wonder why that is.
Dick.
I have the power.
You can't even see me giving you the finger because I keep freezing.
That's awesome.
I'm hearing
Here's
you,
my
man.
point.
I'm hearing
so
you.
my point being is if they're going to vote liberal, they're going to vote blue, they're going to vote red, whatever it's going to be, because that's what their mindset, that's what they've been trained, that's their... It doesn't matter what they are. They're a member of the Liberal Party, they're voting liberal. So then they're going to say, wait, if I read this synopsis, I get an extra vote. I want to get that extra vote. Scroll, extra vote. Oh, I got to do a test. Oh, back. I better read this. 177. What is that? What is that? Now they're going to understand it, and they're going to vote because you're right. They are a good goddamn person. They're a God-fearing, mother-loving person, and they're going to vote properly.
They're going to vote properly, and that issue might not be blue or red issue to them either. It's just a common sense issue.
Well, especially now that they've understood it, now that they see what it's about, now that it makes a little bit more sense. I'm not talking about the system trying to change anybody's mind by twisting words and stuff. I'm just saying people vote on things so often that they're just simply not aware of. They don't understand. And let's just make sure that they understand. And that's where my system is. So maybe the 2 votes is not the best way to do it.
No, but there's got to be a better. There's got to be a better way to incentivize it. I'm not against the incentivizing.
I don't even want to call it incentivizing. I don't like that.
It is an incentive.
I know it is, and I'm agreeing with you. But I'm saying,
sorry, bribing them with an extra vote.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to go down that road, sort of thing. But
why don't we just give them all carrots? Just dangle carrots in front of them. Right? Because that's essentially what you're doing.
Well, no, you're not. You're giving them You're
giving them a carrot. You're giving them a carrot.
You know what I mean? But to make the right choice, that's the carrot.
I know, I know. I think we're both on the same page with getting people to try to make the right choice. It's just a matter of finding a way to.
I agree with you that it should just be happening, but it is.
Well, it should just be. Well,
yeah, no doubt it should be.
Yeah,
but it isn't.
And that's where I wish I could just be a dictator. Well, then I can just tell people that this is the way it is. Dictator.
Okay.
Yeah, tell people how it is. This is the way it's going to be.
So wouldn't that then be dangling a potato? Get it? Tater?
Yeah, tater.
Tater. Dangling a little tater.
Yes. Dangling it from where?
Well, now, that's a whole other show. Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah. I'll see you on OnlyFans.
Yeah, no doubt. It's interesting. I mean,
but I'm for it. I just don't know if it's the right thing to do to have somebody have more say than the other person. In theory, I like what you're saying, but in theory, I don't think one person should have more say over the other. I think everybody should be informed.
I think everybody should be informed, and that would be ideal.
We should start teaching this shit in school too.
They try. They teach history.
They don't even teach history though. That's the thing.
Well, they teach the history they want you to learn, sort of thing.
Well, exactly right, but they don't.
I mean, they do. They have to change. Something's got to give. I'm just trying to come up with the way to be able to make it happen logically and easily. I mean, I see the extra vote thing coming in and just becoming a natural thing, and I see it becoming a thing when you're talking with your buddy, like, "Hey, Bill, did you do that? Did you vote on that bill 128 BJ 7403 or whatever the hell? I don't even know what they call them anymore. But did you vote on that bill? Like, yeah. No, I did my vote. I only took a single vote on that one. What? You didn't feel like reading the thing? It really doesn't matter that much to me. Okay, well now there's another reason. Now this isn't that important to me, so one vote's fine.
But then why vote on it? If it ain't important to you, then what's the point?
Good question, but people.
Why don't you vote right now, Barry? Because it's not important to you, so you don't vote. You don't get a vote. Would you take a vote if you had one vote? No,
not that it's not important to me. It's not that it's not important. It's very important to me.
It's very important to you, but it's not important what our party system has to offer. So it's not important to your beliefs.
No, my beliefs are not going to be represented.
Right. So you don't vote.
Well, this guy took the one vote because now he's still represented.
Right. So he cares enough to vote then.
Yeah, he cares enough about it. Yeah. He understands.
Then he understands
we need this bill, but it doesn't really mean that much to me. I don't really understand it all that much. I mean, you're not gonna get people to all of a sudden inherently take on all this action and responsibility to actually start making informed decisions.
Right, because people all talk about this shit but never actually follow through with it. Yeah.
Right. Well, now
nobody actually wants to. Nobody wants to take action. Is the problem?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, now this is what you get if you take a little action. You get a little something.
I don't know if it should be. I don't know if it should be votes, man. Extra votes.
What you want to tally up? So tell me then what you think the outcome is going to be. Now the numbers that you're going to get as the guy that was elected. You're the guy that works for the Sherman Party of Angels. Right. Now you're going to get the results are going to come in when it's time for voting or whatever, right? You're going to get the numbers of people that logged into the app. You're going to get the number of people that voted yay. You're going to get the number of people that voted nay. You're going to get the number of people that put an educated vote in of yay. You're going to get the number of educated people or that put a vote in of nay. Right? You're going to get all this information.
Everybody should be educated, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can't. But you can't. That's not going to happen. Pipe dream. Put in your pipe and smoke it. It doesn't happen now. It's not going to happen until it gets to a point where people realize that they should be doing that, and now they have an opportunity to do that. Right now, there's no avenue for me to do that. I can log on and sit and watch C-SPAN or whatever and try and figure out what they're talking about and try and download.
Oh, they never talk about anything important.
Like, that's what I'm saying, though. So I mean, right now you can't do this. You really can't. It's very difficult to do it. It's going to make it very easy. It's going to be incredibly simple to become educated. Prove your educativeness and get your votes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
get your vote.
I'd be really curious too to see. You know, we should try and see eventually if anybody ever decides to listen to the show. I would be curious to start a faux app. You know, so it's not real, but we can start trying to put the bills and put all these things on so people can download the app, have a look at it, cast their vote on whatever using our system to see the numbers, to see what people would do the research, that believe in it enough to actually want to get that extra vote. Maybe it's a secondary vote. Maybe there's you vote on it, yay or nay. You know, and then there's a secondary vote, an educated, informed vote. You know what I mean? Yay or nay. Because that would be interesting to see as well. So 70% of the people voted yay, 30% voted nay. 42% of the educated people voted yay, the rest voted nay. How interesting would that be? Right? So you're going to get data like this that's going to change government.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what the key behind this is, you know. But there has to be a reason to do that education. Yes, you shouldn't have to incentivize people, but sadly, you do. There's no you know, you just have to incentivize.
I just don't know. I just don't know if incentivizing them on the ways of giving them more votes is the way to go. You know what? I'll think about it. And there's got to be another way. There's got to be another.
Yeah, come up with a way.
I know you don't.
Anybody
I don't know.
Else listening, come up with a way. Shoot us some email, whatever. You know.
And you know what? Maybe that secondary vote after you've educated yourself in the test goes to something completely different. You know, maybe now, because you have maybe it was yay or nay on the educated vote or whatever, but that didn't reflect in the actual vote. Maybe now you go back to the nays or the yays. How can we amend this bill so that more people are on the same page?
We'll see it eventually.
Because the people that do read it and take into consideration all the aspects of the bill are probably going to have opinions, ways that it needs to be amended, things that they don't agree with but agree with. You know, maybe you should have a little bit more say in your politics if you.
I see.
And that might that you have more of a say, I suppose. Not more of a vote, but more of a say. Yeah. And I think a lot of people do want more of a say.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, the ones that are going to read the bill.
Oh, huge, absolutely, definitely.
Are the ones that do want to say.
Yeah.
So maybe let's give them more of a say. They're not going to agree with everything that's in the bill, so how can we amend this to make it more in line with what the majority of the population wants?
Yep.
You know?
No, absolutely. So, like, I take it to the level of, say this system works and people start doing it and we grow in popularity and end up with a majority government. Everybody's voted for us, and you know what I mean? All of our representatives. Now at what point, like, again, you need more than that single vote. You need an educated vote as well. There has to be a formula. Like, somebody come up with the idea. Email us, dummies@truemoderndemocracy.com, facebook.com/truemoderndemocracy. You. Well, and me. But get in touch with us and let us know how the solution should come in. Like, there could be this multiple vote thing where there's two different votes, and how do you fit a formula, some sort of equation to balance the two of them out so they work.
And keep it fair.
You know, so at the end of the day, if you really want to make the change, then you'll do the damn test to get that secondary vote. So, like, you know, but distinguish the two of them. Yeah. So, yep, you can get your one vote, or you can also get an educated vote. And they're two different things. Right. And maybe a little bit of weight get placed on the educated vote side or something, you know?
Yeah, you could skew it on a curve or something like that.
But it's got to be fair and equitable and always work out the same sort of thing.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but something like that has to be done. That's the
Agreed.
That's the mark of the true modern democracy.
Agreed.
I say modern one more time.
Yeah.
Modern. I say it in a modern way.
Just moderately, though.
Moderately modern?
Moderately modern.
Oh, gotcha. Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah. Either way, I agree with you on principle.
I agree to disagree.
No, principle. I don't agree to disagree at all. Although it is fun to disagree from time to time.
I'll agree.
It makes for good conversation.
Yeah, no doubt. It makes for fun.
That's right.
It makes for fun.
Yeah, right on. So we actually touched base on some stuff this time.
I think so. I think we nailed it. Yeah. Rocked it. Oops, I don't know what happened right there. That shouldn't have happened. Hi.
Looks like
I don't know. I had a bad
looks
camera.
Like an alien biohazard sign.
It was an OBS. That was an old virtual camera. I hit the wrong button. What are you going to do? Here, let's do it this way. You can play our little outro. What is going on with this computer today? I have no idea. There we go.
I'm not allowed to touch buttons.
I know. I get to touch all the buttons. Got a little music playing. That was fun, folks. Well, thanks for listening or watching. If you watched, we had at least one person. We're one person watching.
There's two up in the corner there.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple. Thanks, folks. Must be my wife and your wife.
No, she just got home. She doesn't want to listen to this stuff anymore. She hears me talking about this crap enough.
I can't blame her.
Yeah.
Right on, folks. Thanks again.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Talk soon.